Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about Legends of Tomorrow, episode 301, titled Aruba-Con, which premiered Tuesday, October 10th, 2017 on the CW. I am recording on October 12th, 2017. It's the only time I'm able to actually talk about it, guys. So, huge spoiler alert before we get right into it. If you haven't seen the episode already, please go do so first, and then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. Otherwise, my other video reminders are up on screen, same as last year. Take a moment to remind yourselves of those. And otherwise, guys, let's see if I can do this in 10 minutes. And I do have a little announcement at the very end of the video, so I hope you stay tuned for that. But let's begin with what happened in this episode. So timeline-wise, it's kind of two things. So the first, the episode picks up immediately where the season 2 finale ended off, and that is with the Wave Rider crash landing in 2017 and finding that there are dinosaurs on the street. There are structures from the past that are in the future day. It's just a lot of stuff don't add up. So we see how that is cleaned up very quickly by the Time Bureau, which I'll talk about in a moment. And then after that, and after Legends team getting dismissed, then we jump 6 months later after those events. So we pretty much are aligning the times with the Flash as well. So there's that. So we see that Sarah went back to Star City, and she's stuck in like a retail bath shop, and she's not liking it. She often fantasizes about killing her boss. So there's that. We see Ray in Silicon Valley at a tech company at the very bottom, with the comments on the fact that he had given his company up to Felicity, who ended up running into the ground. Not really sure if that's actual case, but there's that mention. We also see Nathan in Central City, and he is a vigilante. We see a special cameo done by Wally West, aka Kid Flash, during this, so there's that. We see Mick actually taking a vacation in Aruba. He's stuck on a beach, very long time, so there's that. We see Jax in Central City and Professor Stein in Central City. We know that they meet up once a week for their regular bonding sessions, but we find out that Jax ended up dropping out of school, which Professor Stein is shocked by, but he is preparing to become a grandpa as his daughter Lily is pregnant. So there's that. And we also find out that Amaya went back to 1942 after her breakup with Nathan, and kind of in the assistance of Rip Hunter telling her to go back because she has a destiny to fulfill there. So there's that. Now the huge episode reminder, though, is, I guess you could say, is the huge introduction of the Time Bureau and kind of what the latest threat to the timelines are. Because apparently, as you know, in the season 2 finale, the Legends team broke the one rule, and that is that they visit the same place and time twice, which kind of did a ripple effect and broke time, as it were, which is causing all these things out of place in time, which is why Rip created the Time Bureau, which again I'll bring up in a moment. So the villain again is going to be the Time Bureau and Julius Caesar. Villain being, in this sense, those going against the Legends team. So there's that. So with the huge episode breakdown, I picked up on two things. First one being discovering their new problem with the timeline, and the second being Julius Caesar being in Aruba in the present day. So there's that. So the first problem being these anachronisms, and that is people or things displaced from the original timeline. So again, dinosaurs finding themselves in 2017, Julius Caesar finding himself in 2017, stuff like that. So we find out for the Legends team, it's only been 15 minutes ago since they last saw Rip Hunter. But for Rip Hunter, he went back in time, and for the last 5 years of his life, he created the Time Bureau, which was meant to replace the Time Masters. So they have been going around for the last 5 years of Rip's life, taking care of these anachronisms, sending them back to their original time, wiping the memory so that they don't change the timeline like it were. So there's that. Because of this, Rip Hunter kind of dismisses the Legends team as his new team is meant to replace them. With the Time Bureau, we get introduction to Agent Ava Sharp, the blonde lady who really does not like Sarah from the looks of it. She gives a lot of sass. She's played by Jess McCallan. I know her from the TV show Mistresses as Joss. So there's that. Now, the second storyline, though, is Julius Caesar in Aruba. So pretty much the Legends team captured Julius Caesar only to return him back to his time, yet with future knowledge of the future, obviously. The Time Bureau does intervene, but then Agent Sharp gets captured by Julius Caesar and his army, which then forces the Legends team to go and kicking and screaming and fighting to rescue her, which she doesn't really appreciate. She still thinks they're chaotic as ever, as it were. Now, last moments of the episode show Amaya back in 1942 protecting her village. However, this is a little different. We see Amaya is able to control many spirits at one time as they attack in spirit form. So there's that. She doesn't actually embody the spirits anymore. So like remember with last year whenever she touched the pendant and whatever animal kind of took possession of her, she embodied those traits. So the strength of one animal or the speed of another animal type of thing. In this little bit that we get to see of Amaya, we see all the animal spirits come out and not embody her, but they actually take charge and go forth as she's kind of controlling them type of thing. So that was a little different. Don't know if that's supposed to be a natural progression of her power or it's just something going haywire there. So there's that. Now, tidbit, though, is the fact that at the very end of the episode, we see Mick stealing a few Time Bureau gadgets, including a portal wristwatch, a memory scrambler, and a communication device. I don't know the name specifically, but that's kind of the gist of what they do. We also know through a talk with Rip and Agent Sharp that the Time Bureau knows of a bigger threat, and they're kind of hoping to keep the Legends in commission so that their ways of chainsawing through situations would benefit them against this bigger threat. So there is that. Moving on to the most shocking moment of the episode, I think it has to be the definition of what an anachronism is. I really thought that they actually broke time, not the fact that things actually got displaced within their time and they can easily put them back in their place. I guess it makes sense. You kind of need like a semi-easy fix for that instead of them actually unraveling the timeline and such. But I was still surprised by not only the definition, but how long the word is too. I have to look at it just to say it properly. Anachronism. So kudos for the cast whenever they have to say that word. So there's that. Now, moving on to top 3 favorite moments. First one for me has to be the Legends team in action. First, when we see Sarah kicking butt to save Agent Sharp when they were going against Julius Caesar and his army. We also see Nathan and Ray working together to get the book that was used to change history, as it were. And then the whole little moment between them where it's like, I think this deserves a bro hug, and they actually pause for a moment to actually give themselves that. So that was pretty funny, and I like that. Also, another favorite moment of mine was the moment against Sarah versus Julius Caesar back in Aruba. I like that because not only did Sarah kick his butt, but the team just watched around them. They were just waiting. They were wondering, should we help Sarah out? And they're like, no, she's got this. She can handle this. And they're like, well, I'm not really worried about her. I'm worried about the guy has a huge, crucial part in history that she's fighting the crap out of. So that was pretty funny to see their support, knowing that Sarah can handle this. She doesn't need any help from us type of thing. And they're just standing around and such like that. And it's pretty cool. And then just their celebratory reactions afterwards was pretty funny. So I like that team moment right there. Another favorite moment of mine has to be between Mick and Sarah at the very end when they're toasting to each other, knowing that, well, the new motto is that sometimes we screw things up for the better. And then Mick shows Sarah that he stole all these devices from the Time Bureau. And Sarah's like, oh, so you're actually staying, you're going to stay. And then he's like, well, I kind of have to. You'd be dead without me type of thing. So I really liked that dynamic too between them. So that was great to see. And another favorite of mine has to be when Professor Stein tells Jax that he's going to stay on the team because, yes, he has a family back in Central City, but the people on the Wave Rider are his family as well. So it was great to have that acknowledgement that after 2 years for them of being time-traveling a team, they've come to see each other as family. So it was really great to get that as well. Moving on to top 3 peed moments. First one has to be that I was a little surprised that we did not see Sarah go back to Team Arrow during her 6-month stint back in Star City. I was actually expecting it, but because Arrow doesn't air until tonight, so we don't really know what happened after the island explosion. So the fate of everyone except for Oliver is up in the air. So I would understand why they wouldn't show her back with Team Arrow specifically, but I was surprised that we didn't see her with her father, or I guess he was on the island too. But see her with Oliver or something doing as a vigilante, I was surprised she didn't go back into it. Her being a sales associate at a bath shop after everything she's done, it's just like, really? That's what you choose to do? At least with Nathan, he went back to being a vigilante using his powers and stuff like that in a city where superheroes were known. that made more sense to what Sarah ended up going back to do. So there's that. Another peeve of mine ended up being that the Time Bureau students or not just the students, pretty much everyone in the Time Bureau, they had such condescending attitudes towards the Legends team, when pretty much if it weren't for the Legends team, they wouldn't have a Time Bureau job. And they're learning off of the experience that the Legends team had. Yes, they're learning how to do things in a better manner, but the Legends teams do things in the moment. They don't have time to practice. They don't have time to refine their skill sets. And in the end, they weren't trained as time travelers. They had to learn as they go, type of thing. So those people in the Time Bureau, I don't like them. They're just stuck up and just like, ugh. So whenever the Legends team gets to show them up and prove that they're better, it's like, I'm all for that. But moving on to what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode, it has to be the fact that the Legends team agreed to stick together and to fix these anachronisms. So there's that. But moving on to random questions, I'm going to try to be fast since the timer went off. But first one is, since the Time Masters were from Rip's future, could the same be said about the Time Bureau? That's one thing that always confused me about time traveling, is like, when something starts and yet they're always time traveling, when does it actually officially start, in a sense? So there's that. Another question being, how can Amaya control the animal spirits the way that she is doing now in that final moment of the episode? What has changed for her, or was that always the natural progression of the amulet or the totem? So there's that. And another question is, what really happened between Nathan and Amaya? I hate that they broke up. We don't actually get to see them in a relationship together. We just get to see the build up until the moment where they are together, and then it's like, well, that's it. Use your imagination. Next time we see them, they're broken up. So it's like, wait, what? So there's that. But moving on to predictions very quickly. Based off the promo for 302, the Legends team end up at the circus where they find an anachronism in the form of a saber-toothed tiger. Don't know what year the circus is supposed to take place, but the tiger is definitely not supposed to be there. So there's that. Now, based off the synopsis for 302, it reads, the Legends find themselves in 1870 to find the anachronism, which happens to be at the B.T. Barnum's fleeting circus. However, Nate and Ray accidentally free a saber-toothed tiger, creating a bigger problem. Meanwhile, P.T. Barnum is on the hunt to capture Nate and Ray to make the show even more exciting for the crowd. I'm guessing he wants to take him for the steel skin and the ability to shrink, possibly. Also, Sarah, Amaya, Professor Stein, Mick, and Jax are also meant to star as well. So there is that. From that, I don't really have any more predictions from that. It's going to be very tricky for them to get a saber-toothed tiger back to the original timeline. But it'll be interesting to see. But to my announcement that I mentioned at the very beginning, just a quick warning as to the fact that I won't be covering all the episodes this year like I did last year. I'm only going to do episodes that really drop a bombshell in the storyline or the overarching plot, or if there's any that give me quite a reaction out of me. But I'll definitely do episodes where they'll have special character appearances, usually in the form of crossover cameos. I'll definitely do ones like that. I'm definitely going to do the crossover event that's happening at the end of November. So there's that. So I do hope you come back and keep a little note on it of when I have the videos. But otherwise, guys, that's it for the premiere episode. What do you guys think of it? What do you guys think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your own thoughts, theories, and predictions about all that. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. And if you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place. So go check it out. Last year I was a little bit more behind than I wanted to be, so I'm going to try to pick that back up this year. Hence the little pullback in videos. So there's that, but it's also going to be posted on WordPress, so link for that is down below. Check it out. It's a little more organized over there, but it's still a work in progress. So just keep up to date on that, and I believe that's pretty much it, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back and check out my other videos, as well as be on the lookout for any other Legends videos I post. You never know when I might post something. That's the fun of it this season. So until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week wherever you are. Bye for now.